even though we didn't get an episode of America's Got Talent for this week, because this week being indeed the 4th of July, so a very happy early 4th of July to anyone watching this video. But even though we didn't get an episode this week, I think it would be wrong of me not to do a AGT video at all. So that's why I've decided to share with you some of my favourite acts from this season so far that we have seen for the auditions basically this year. And keep in mind, this is not my necessary predictions, my finest predictions. I'll be doing that in a few weeks' time. But anyways, we got a lot to talk about in this week's AGT video, so let's get straight into the video. So, as I mentioned, there was no America's Got Talent episode this week because of the with this week being the 4th of July. So I think they just wanted to not air it this week. So it'll be on the 8th of July, which is in a few days' time. So very excited for that. But I've decided to go ahead, and while this is, you may be wondering why. You may be wondering if this is my early picks and predictions video, as it's not that. I'll be doing that in 2 weeks' time. So please stay tuned for that. But I've decided to go ahead and share with you guys some of my favorite acts I've seen this season, and just kind of give my overall thoughts on them and just how well I think they could do, basically. So a bit of a different video from what I normally do for my AGT reviews, and it's not necessarily a review, but it's just me kind of talking about my favorite acts of the season so far. And I'd love to know your thoughts on who your favorites are in the comments below. As you know, I love doing these videos and hearing your thoughts and ideas. So, and yeah, so let's get straight into the video. So, like I mentioned, this isn't in like any particular order. I mean, the first act is my favorite act so far this season. But apart from that, it's in no order whatsoever. There's no ranking to it. It's just my overall favorite acts so far this year, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. So let's just kick off the video talking about my favorite act of the season so far, which is the juggling group Jogglissimo from episode 4. And the moment I found out they were auditioning, I was very excited to see them, as we had seen juggling as well this season with the Masaudi brothers, which I'll talk on to a little bit later on. But for me, they brought something so refreshing, unique, and just visually quite incredible on the AGT stage. As you know, sometimes I find juggling a bit boring sometimes, and it can be a bit dull. But what they were able of doing is kind of making it kind of really exciting, incredible, and just visually just stunning to watch. And it takes a lot of hard work about the synchronicity, the timekeeping, just the whole act. I was just blown away by the whole act when I first watched them, and I was shocked they didn't get the golden buzzer, because I felt like this is the type of act I feel could win the whole thing. I still think they've got a shot at winning the show, and just if I had to visualize an act I think would be perfect for Vegas, it's definitely these guys. And I feel just seeing an act like this I've never seen before, especially in the juggling category, they made it so just mind-blowing to watch, like I mentioned. And also the multimedia, like the backdrop, the timing, it was just I just remember thinking to myself, how on earth are they doing this with such precision? It's just crazy to think. And also, this is an act I feel could go global around the world. I could totally see this act in Vegas. I could see it going all over the world, and just visual. Like I mentioned, it's just, for me, it's one of the best acts I've ever seen on BGT. It's just visually, I keep mentioning it, but it's just sensational to watch. And just, yeah, and also I believe I didn't mention this in my review for them, but the guy here was actually the replacement from one of the people who actually was not well. So he basically was kind of the fill-in, and he performed it as if he was in the group, which is quite crazy. But again, these guys are still one of my favorite acts this season. I think they are an act I could see totally winning. And the way they do the juggling is that they do it with they make it into a work of art, and they make it into something visually just mind-blowing to watch, and it just captivates you. And it captivated me watching this for the first time. And like I mentioned, I've said this before many times, but I would love to see this act go far. I honestly thought it could win the whole thing. It's so exciting, and I feel this is an act I think should win it, especially for the variety's sake. We've had singers win before, we've had dancers win before, we haven't had a comedian win before, but to see a multimedia act like this, or a juggling act like this, would be so great. And if I'm honest with you, if the Golden Buzzer returns for the live shows, which I feel like it will, I would love to see them get it as well. I think I would love to see them get the Golden Buzzer in the live shows if they bring it back. So, like I mentioned, I cannot wait for to see what they do next. I still think they could win the whole thing, and I just can't wait to see what they do next time. And now the next album we're going to talk about is Simon's Golden Buzzer, given out to the multimedia dance group Lightwire, who got Simon's Golden Buzzer in the premiere episode, who blew me away with their Amazon jungle routine. And I mentioned this as well in my review, and it is one of the most incredible acts I've ever seen, and I stand by that as well, as I feel to do something with technology this accurate, and visually it makes it just even better when you come to think about it in terms. And the storytelling, the way they told the story with the visuals, the dancing, the choreography was sensational to watch. I just, like I mentioned, I think out of the acts so far this season, I think they are a lock for the finals. Them and Howie's Golden Buzz, which we'll talk on to a little bit later on. But again, I feel like just watching this act, it was quite just remarkable to watch, especially for someone who hasn't seen this act like this before. We've seen multiple acts like Light Balance, we've seen Alexander Leshenko, we've seen, Light Balance Kids, that's one of them. But I've never seen an act like this before, and just the way they told the story, the way they did the choreography, the visual, like the backdrop was mind blowing to watch, and just it's just remarkable to see an act like this on Got Talent. And I feel like I mentioned, another act I could definitely see in at least in the top three. I would love to see them win as well because to see a multimedia act, but I've noticed we haven't had many the many times we had a multimedia act gets to the top three, they've ended up in getting third. So we had that with Light Balance, we had that with Sky Elements last year. Who else? We've had quite a few, haven't we? I know Light Balance and Sky Elements really come to mind. But again, this is an act I could also see headlining Vegas. It's very just visually mind-blowing to watch. And I think if Simon didn't press that Golden Buzzer, it would have been an absolute travesty, because it really is just a remarkable act to watch. And just watching it was just like just insane to watch. So again, another I could definitely see winning the show, and I can't wait to see what they do next, and I just can't wait for them to blow me away once again. And now we're going to talk about the second juggling act of this season, which is Mel B's first Golden Buzzer of the season, which are the Masoudi brothers, who you all may remember, who were on back in 2019 as a trio, an acrobatic trio, but they came back as a juggling duo with Sofian and can't remember the other brother name, and they were also on Britain's Got Talent all the way back in last year. Actually, they were on BGT last year, made the semi-finals, but they came back with their dazzling juggling routine, which serenaded everybody watching with their incredible juggling routine and swapping the clothes as well, which I thought was mind-blowing to watch. And what I like most about the Masoudi brothers, with like Joglissimo, because with Joglissimo, I'm not trying to compare them in a bad way, I mean this in a good way, because with Joglissimo, the way they do their act is kind of really articulate, stunning, and visually immaculate, where with the Masoudi brothers, they not only have the danger element, they were juggling with the swords there, the knives, they were juggling with knives, but the way, like, the surprise factor was really exciting as well, with them taking their shirts off, getting undressed, swapping the clothes while juggling with the knives, and the showmanship they have as well is really off the scale. And this was, as a fan of the Masoudi brothers, who I saw on Britain's Got Talent last year, I was so excited to see them come back on BGT, and they blew me away with their audition this year. And honestly, what they are able to do is just incredible. And their audition was their audition was just amazing, especially because I wasn't even being biased when I put them in my ranking at number one on their episode, because I generally did that because what they were capable of doing was so exciting, and I was so glad they got the Golden Buzzer, because this is the type of talent I want to see get the Golden Buzzer. Something exciting, something different, something perfect for the variety, and these guys delivered. So I would love to see them make it all the way to the finals this time around, because I feel like they were robbed in BGT, and I think in 2019 they deserved a spot in the final. So I would love to see them, as I could definitely see them getting a kind of underdog, kind of bouncing back and getting to that final. And it would be so great to see an act like this go far, as I think it's just perfect for variety, perfect for Vegas, like I mentioned, and just, it was just, they are just fantastic to watch, and just I cannot wait for what they do in the live shows, as I think it's going to be once again just immaculate. And then we have Howie's Golden Buzzer given out to singer Jordan Blue with his rendition of Break Even by the Script he did in the premiere episode. And the moment he performed, I was just blown away by this guy's voice, and hearing his story about being a busker and being involved in the incident that happened very near where he was busking. There was like an incident that happened. I mean, kind of briefly talked about it. It was very emotional, and hearing and the rendition of that song. He did Break Even by the Script, which I love that song, by the way, but he did it with such a unique twist of it on it. Like it felt like I was listening to the voice, not the voice, but I felt like I was listening to the song for the very first time when I listened to his rendition, and it was just top notch from start to finish. And his range that he can go up to is quite remarkable. And I was so excited when Howie pressed that golden buzzer for him, as honestly, it would have been criminal if he didn't get a golden buzzer. Honestly, for me, he is definitely, I've seen online what people think, and he is, I think, the current favourite to make it all the way, and I could definitely see him doing that as well, especially in the golden buzzers. He's also the most viral golden buzzer of the season. He's got about 4.3 million views on YouTube, so that's definitely the most out of the golden buzzers of views. So I definitely think he's one of the favourites for sure. But I feel, as I mentioned in my very first episode, not my first episode, but my review on the trailer, when I talked about Jessica Sanchez making a return, I feel that he may have a run. He may have some competition. I feel she could give him a run for his money, because I think Jessica, I've actually seen her stuff online, music, social media. She is a sensational singer, and I think once she gets her audition edge, she actually might be not only the most viral actor of the season, but I think might be legit competitor to win the show as well. Because her, and when I first saw the trailer, the Super Tease, when they had Jessica in it, the comments were going absolutely ballistic over her. So I was like, okay, so I think already she seems going to be the fan favorite. I'm pretty sure. She's going to be aired very soon. Either not this upcoming Tuesday, but the next Tuesday. I'm pretty sure she's going to be on that episode. But I cannot wait to see what Jordan brings as well, as he's definitely one of my favourite singers in the competition. I could definitely see him in the top 5, definitely a finalist as of right now. But again, I just cannot wait to see what he brings next time, and I hope he delivers like he did in his audition, because it was amazing, and I can't wait to see what he does next. And now we've got Team Recycled, which is, for me, the dance group that have set the bar really high for the season, who blew me away with their dance routine, where they mentioned they take all Tim Times of dancing and they recycle it all together. Now the start of it was a bit slow, but that for me felt like part of the routine, for only for them to be building up the atmosphere. As you can see, there were more members, as you can see in the chairs, where they did their routine, and it was really exciting to watch, especially with the coordination. The choreography was so in sync, and with them doing the LED lights, that was really kind of wowzers. I was just properly blown away. But Mel B, of all people, wasn't a huge fan of theirs, which was very shocking, because I thought they were fantastic. But hopefully they prove her wrong. So I'm pretty sure they will, because they really are just such a great dance group, and something I've never seen before in a dance group on the show. And with Simon even mentioned, it felt like an event. Simon mentioned it felt like a legit event, and then the way, and also how he said he really loved the way that they used the room around, and it was really just so exciting to watch. Even watching it on my screen, I was just kind of captivated in the moment. I just hope they do something even bigger and better once we get to the live shows, as I think they could be real contenders if they really deliver, as I could definitely see them making it far. I would love to see how far they do make it. I think they're just an amazing dance group. Hopefully they prove Mel B wrong, because I'm still absolutely mind blown she said no to them in the auditions, because I still thought they were sensational, and just, yeah, I just thought they were amazing. But hopefully they prove Mel B wrong, and I cannot wait to see what they bring so far. Um, once we head to the live shows in August. And now we have the acrobatic duo of the TT Boys, who also blew me away in their audition with their acrobatic routine. And it was also the first time I think I heard Simon said a cuss word on an audition. And when you make Simon say a curse word like that, you know you've blown him away. And just, I also loves the audition as well. Just, and even come from someone who loves seeing acrobatic groups on the show, acrobatic acts, duos, trios, whatever, anything acrobatic related. I am absolutely here for it. I just loved the whole routine, and it was so thrilling, so exciting. Simon even mentioned it was one of the best acts this year, which I totally agree with. And seeing an act like them on the show is so exciting, refreshing, and just what they were able of doing with the balancing and the acrobatics were quite remarkable to watch. So hopefully that they bring it once again in the live shows, and I also could see them getting a golden buzzer in the live shows. Especially, I feel, Simon said they were one of the best acts this year. Sophia also thought they were amazing. Like, there's quite a few acts I could definitely see getting a golden buzzer this year if it does return to the live shows. But of course we won't know that until in a few weeks' time. So kind of near October. It's normally like the first few weeks in October they start doing the live shows, I think. So we'll hopefully find out some information whether the Golden Buzzer is going to be returning. And again, I think they are sensational. As you know, not even being biased when it comes to them, I still think they're just sensational to watch. I can't wait what they bring. I think they are a current lock for the live shows. I would be amazed if they don't make it through, as I think they are exquisite. And now we're going to, let's just say, my recent bias side here, but I absolutely love this group, being Girish and the Chronicles, with their rock version of Set the Rain on Fire by Adele. Now, they are a rock band from India, as they blew me away with their rendition of the Adele song. You could tell the audience were in the absolute palm of their hands, watching it for the whole performance. And also the reaction they got was fantastic. And Girish's vocals were just sensational to listen to, especially the high notes he was hitting were just pretty crazy, especially for a guy to hit those notes. And in the rock and roll industry, we have so many versatile rock and roll singers. We've got James Hetfield, John Bon Jovi, Richie Sambora, Sebastian Bach. Who else? There's so many others. Dee Snider, another one from Twisted Sister. Mark McGrath, that's another one. Grant Armstrong, not Grant Armstrong. Is that Grant Armstrong? Is that the guy from Green Day? I can't remember but you know who I'm on about. But all these versatile rock and roll singers that can really belt out songs like that, I thought they delivered, their song to a whole. They made the song their own as well, which is so great to see. And I just thought they were fantastic to watch from start to finish. And I'm a huge fan of rock music as well, and they really impressed me. I would love to see them what they do in the live shows. I do think they will make it, especially because we've had acts like Steel Panther make it, True Villains. So I think they are probably be they're probably going to make it through. I'm pretty sure they will. So I'm very excited to see what they do, and I hope they make it far as well. I don't know how far they're going to make it, but regardless, I would love to see what they do regarding to what songs they take and make it into their rock versions. It would be so great to see what they can do and what they have up their sleeve. And the final act I'm going to talk about is from the most recent episode, being Chuck Adams, a 40-year-old singer-songwriter who performed his rendition of Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. And the moment I heard those lyrics he was singing, I was just in the zone from the very moment he started, as he managed to take a song that I absolutely love hearing. He made into his own wheelhouse with the guitar playing, the vocals, the arrangement was quite just stunning to watch. And currently he's got 2.6 million views on YouTube currently. So probably the most popular act of the week as well from his episode. And just again, his vocals was sensational to listen to. I feel he is that typical contestant I could definitely see having an underdog run. Sophia mentioned that he could go very far in the competition, which I also agree with, but I feel that will depend on who he's up against as well, because there's quite a few singers this year I could definitely see making it decently far. But also, with the upcoming ones, like Jessica Sanchez, who I feel could, once she gets there, she can give everybody a run for her money, in my opinion. And I'm not even being playing favourites when I say that, because Jessica is just an amazing talent. Just again, I cannot wait for what he brings as well. And I again, like similar to with Garish and the Chronicles, if he's able to take a song like Iris and make it his very own, in the quarterfinals, semifinals, whenever, if he is able to take that a song and make it in his own, like he did in the audition, I could definitely see him making it to the end. I just feel like he's just so humble as well, so like happy to be there, and just you can tell he was singing from the heart in the auditions, and I just feel like he's got such a great soul to his voice, which is something I love hearing on the show, especially with guys, anyone with that type of vocal range to listen to that song. I'm very excited to what he does next time, and I really hope we see him making it decently far in the competition as well. So there you have it. Those are my favourite acts so far for America's Got Talent season 20. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Who are your favourite acts from this season? Again, let me know in the comments. And of course, a quick reminder: AGT will be back on July the 8th. Yep, July 8th, as normal. So you'll get my ranking on the Wednesday, and hopefully the review on Wednesday as well. So be on the lookout for those videos, and we'll be getting back into schedule very soon. And also my early picks and predictions video, it will be coming out in roughly 2 weeks' time. So probably after episode 7 is the likely time to do it. So look out for me doing that video. But again, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe with post notifications turned on. I would really appreciate that. But for now, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.